Hi, my name is Meredith Stewart. I grew up in Lilburn, Georgia, and I've been a member here at Smoke Rise for 12 years. I took the next step by serving God in Appalachia for 4 months. I went to the University of Georgia in Athens. I got my undergrad in accounting and I got my master's in accounting with an emphasis in tax. My parents are Beth and Jimmy Stewart. My dad works for investor relations at Southern Company, and I have a younger sister named Sarah who is currently at Georgia Tech for aerospace engineering. I think that my background is a perfect example of how God can use anything for His glory. When I was going through school, I never ever thought that God would be able to use an accountant in a ministry. It deepened my relationship with Him because it made it real. It made it not just a superficial prayer. Every day I was just constantly in conversation with Him, which was something that had never happened to me before. It made me totally depend on Him. My job while I was up at God's Appalachian Partnership was to start and maintain a job training program up there, and it's more of a program to teach people how to fish rather than giving them a fish, whether it was building houses or doing accounting work or doing food and clothing distribution. I was just willing to let God use me however He wanted to. God's plan for me was definitely so much bigger than anything I could have ever imagined. I never ever imagined that somebody would call me a missionary or that He would be able to use me to spread His word. I guess I've never felt called to do anything before, so I was actually reading a book and it just said point blank, if you think you're being called, you're being called. And then I was just praying about it one day and I opened up my Bible and there was a piece of paper in my Bible, which is really strange because I don't keep any paper or anything in my Bible. And the paper on it just had several prayer requests, but one of them at the end said something about there was a mission team going up to Appalachia to work with clients there in a ministry called God's Appalachian Partnership. This prayer request was written about a year and a half ago, and so it was strange that it was still in my Bible, but that's what made me decide to want to pursue an Appalachian mission. I was open to letting God use me however He wanted to, and I was willing to give my resources all to Him for His glory. And I was ready to go where He sent me and where He felt like the greatest need was. I didn't even know that there was a need in Appalachia until I went there. It was the first week that I was there, that Thursday night, and we had a mission team in and they had just tons of leftover food. So I went with Terry and Brenda up the hill, up in a holler, to take them some extra food, and the mission team also wrote the family a personal check. And Melinda has 6 kids, and she was pregnant with her 7th child when I first met her. And when we got up the hill, we took them that box of food and that check from the mission team. And as soon as we got up there, she started crying and she said, I just put the last diaper on my baby and I did not know how I was going to pay for my food the next day. And this was, for me, this was the first glimpse of the type of miracles that God performs up there. And as soon as I left, when I got back in the car with Terry and Brenda, I started crying and I said, God just gave me this overwhelming feeling that this family is the reason why I'm here. I said, if nothing else comes of this trip, that I want to help this family.